Hello, YouTube friends, and thank you once more for joining me on this vlog today. And I'm going to touch on deceit. And we all know that lies get told every day. Each person in the world has experienced lies in one way or the other, either being the person who is lying about someone else or being a victim of lies. And I want to look at deceit more like in a relationship setting instead of like maybe with the family, maybe with friends. And in the relationship setting, I'm not going to look so much at the lies that happen in the course of a relationship, but at the start of a relationship, which is why I said lies can be, or deceit can be, a marriage spoiler. But what happens at the beginning, the type of lie that gets told at the beginning of a relationship, so before it's even formed or matured or grown to anything. Some symptoms of this particular type of deceit manifest themselves when suddenly people start experiencing in the course of a relationship, maybe constant arguments down the line, sudden problems with no clear root cause, lack of explanation for a change in behavior, failing to address certain issues when they arise, trying to project a false image of who people really are in that relationship. And sometimes the perpetrator, or the liar, or the person who is being deceitful tends to become a user in that relationship. They become unforgiving, selfish, and sometimes maybe even vain. So examples of things that someone may be deceitful about from the start of a relationship are things like you may notice that they have agendas, and these agendas that may have occurred from the start which you were unaware of could be maybe you come from a wealthy family and they want to be a part of that. Maybe your family name is popular and they want to be associated with that. Maybe you yourself are a popular person and they long for some of that popularity. Maybe being with you seems to make a good image and they are longing for that kind of image. Maybe all they want from you is to start a family and you're unaware of that. Maybe they do love you, but not as much as they claim to. Perhaps their friends, most of their friends may be married and they feel out like an outsider in that company and they just want to belong, to also say that they too are married. They may see you as a means to gain resident status in the country you reside in. That would be for people who do not reside in their country of origin. They suddenly just become this user. It could be a playboy or a playwoman or playgirl, who becomes a user. They're with you not just because they care about you or love you, but because of something they hope or intend to gain from that relationship of being with you. What I've noticed is that a lot of these people are broken inside. They have wounds inside and they need some healing. So if you are a single person who is watching this and you're not yet in a relationship, the only suggestion I can make is really that you just pray, especially if you're a Christian, that you do not fall for a young man or a young woman who is an opportunist and has agendas, because there are so many of them out there. Trust me, you will hardly be able to tell how honest they are by the way they express their love to you, because some people are just very tactful and convincing when they lie, and you may never be able to know. If you are already in a relationship and find that you are a victim of deceit, know that you can rise above this. Trust me, you can rise above it. The reason you may be in pain is because you feel like your time was wasted, you feel like you've been made a fool out of, you feel humiliated, disrespected, used, laughed at, degraded, embarrassed. You feel anger, you feel unforgiveness, you're full of shame and guilt. But my question to you is, why do you allow yourself to continue feeling shame and guilt for someone else's decision to be deceitful? So what I have learned whilst talking to friends, to couples, and reading reading about relationships online, what I've learned about deceit is that most often it seems like the victim is the loser who carries all the guilt and all the shame. But in actual fact, the reverse is actually true because they are deceiving themselves. You're ignorant of what is going on. You're ignorant of their plans. You're ignorant of their agendas. They are deceiving themselves. They're disrespecting themselves. They're degrading themselves. They're embarrassing themselves. The guilt and shame is on them and not on you. So if you keep feeling guilt and shame about something or anything that has to do with someone being deceitful to you, you just need to let it go and stop regretting. You have to reverse this and decide to have a positive mindset just for your own good. Now, let me get a paper here, a certain Machona Dliwayo actually once wrote about people who lie. And she said, if you wear a mask for too long, there will come a time when you cannot remove it without removing your face. And I kind of really found that hilarious because people can only lie for so long. And sometimes it becomes part and parcel of them and they're struggling to get rid of it. Back to anyone who is feeling like they're in a deceitful relationship. You too are sick and wounded and you need some inner healing. The fact is your partner as well. The fact that they are doing this to you shows that they're missing something inside of them. So they too are equally wounded and they need some healing. I'm going to leave you with 2 verses that can help you to heal. And just really say, as you go through these verses, try and let go of any pain that you may be feeling because of deceit. Sirach 38 verse 9 to 10 says, my child, when you are ill, do not delay but pray to the Lord and he will heal you. Give up your faults and direct your hands rightly and cleanse your heart from all sin. Psalm 34 verse 5 is another one. It says, look at him and be radiant, so your faces shall never be ashamed. So these verses will work both ways for anyone who has been deceitful or is being deceitful to a partner in a relationship. And it is helpful for someone who feels like they've been deceived. So it should just help heal. We are all broken. I've said this several times before, and we just need to journey together and work on healing and changing our inner selves. I'm going to end with a quote that I actually heard this evening from a sermon that one of the Vincentian priests did at the Divine Retreat Center. He was talking about some quotes that Mother Teresa, rest in peace, some of the quotes that she lived by, some of her principles that she believed in. And this quote said, if you find serenity and happiness, some people may be jealous, but be happy anyway. So I'm going to end by just saying, be thankful, be happy, keep smiling, and please do share, do like, do subscribe. And if you know anyone who might benefit from this, don't hesitate. Thank you and see you on the next vlog. Bye.